Welcome, everybody, to the start of the round of 8 to the A Cup Series playoffs. We're live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the championship fight continues here tonight. I'm Carmen, Sienna, alongside me, Kevin Young, to present tonight's action here from Las Vegas. It's time to get one step closer to a championship fight. Kevin, this track, it's a popular track, 1.5 miles. What are these drivers looking forward to tonight? So let's go make sure he's unmuted here.
There we go. Anyway, though, back to what I was trying to say is it's a difference between spring and fall here in this regards in this track. And it should be worth noting, last time we were here, I think it was Tommy Withers that ended up winning this race in Las Vegas last time by. So a non-playoff driver, well, was in the playoffs, but not currently in the playoffs, won this race. And it was kind of a bit of a topsy-turvy race where a lot of drivers that you see in the playoffs weren't in the top 5 at that running order. So it can be a bit of a shock race, especially if strategies play off. But other than that, it's kind of a bit of a 1.5 mile oval. Kind of run low to the line. You can run that middle groove to higher groove if you dare, but you can see cars come down the straight, arc it in the corner, get close to that apron, then swing out.
Qualifying already underway here in Las Vegas. 21 cars for tonight's race, and all of them have already run qualifying. That's already completed and set to go here in Las Vegas. But we do have a point standing situation to kind of update on. As I mentioned, the round of 8 is beginning tonight. That means the points have reset for everyone in the top 8. Tommy Reynolds with 2 race wins in the last round has a 10-point advantage. Josh Gaiman won another race. So those are all 3 of those races from the round of 12 covered. Everyone else level up 4,000 points apiece going into the next 3 races here.
Yeah, bonus points definitely could come in clutch for Reynolds and Gaiman if they need it by the end of Martinsville. With those 5 extra points, you never know when you may or may not need them in a tight spot.
How about qualifying situation as things currently run right now? Brandon Fetter place top of the board for that Line Power Motorsports team. Seth Wansing, that team looked really strong in the opening round, the round of 16, but it feels like it's falling apart for that team. With obviously Bryn Roberts taken out of contention here, leaves that team down to 2 competitors in the playoffs here, with Wansing and Daniel Michelle in the 25. Michelle qualified 10th here. Wansing on the front row though. And then obviously you see a lot more numbers outlined in black. A lot of drivers trying to play spoiler now in the last 4 races of the season.
It should be worth noting, though, is that even though Brent Roberts was eliminated, he did put up a good fight at the Roval last week. But Sunday Monday Racing, this is kind of that, you could say that second half, the last 3 rounds is a bit of a wild card round, if you will, with it being a restrictor plate, a road course, and a 1.5 mile oval. Now, though, it does feel like it may fall a little bit back into the hands of Sunday Monday Racing, at the very least. With it being Las Vegas, which is kind of a 1.5 mile oval, they've shown strength at Kansas, they've shown tracks similar to this, and then Homestead, where it's high multi-grave racing track, which again has favored a bit of Sunday Monday Racing. So I think at the very least, if I had a crystal ball, I do feel like they'll find a bit of form here tonight. But obviously, a lot of teams, a lot of drivers, is Line Power currently still leading the constructors. They're looking to keep that constructors lead. They got some strong drivers on the banner, with Featherplace obviously taking pole position here today. And then don't count out B-Tron with Reynolds and Gaiman. They had strong form in the last round, and they're looking to keep that going.
See top to bottom, a very competitive field here set to race tonight. Again, 21 cars. As I mentioned, a very popular mile-and-a-half oval. Just across the board, it's been very competitive. The Ignition Series had 18 drivers on Friday night. S&S, the Saturday Night Showdown Series, I think, had 21 trucks last night. So, consistent numbers across the board here for ARCS to kick off the round of 8. As we watch this qualifying timer elapse here, we will be set to go for 134 laps of racing. 134 laps of racing, depending on how you want to split hairs.
Yep, it's 134. You are correct.
200.5 miles by technicality is the lap distance here, or the mile distance tonight. 134 laps. 3 stages here tonight.
35,
Well,
I believe it's 35 and 70 to finish.
pretty easy to sort out there. Because this entire second half of the race. Warm up underway here. Everyone gets a chance to get on track and dial everything in one last time before the race begins. So it means that pit lane's going to be pretty busy on the exit here. Donald Ray qualified really well. We'll try to play spoiler here tonight. Seth Wansing, though, was, I think, the first car to leave pit lane. He was eager to get back on track, knowing that he needs to get another win to put himself in contention to possibly win a third championship tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely in a mood where, again, you want to kind of set the tone here. If you have a bad first round here in the round of 16, you can maybe try to pull yourself out of that. Round of 12, it gets a little harder, but you can still pull yourself out of here. Here tonight, with the cream keeps rising and rising, if you have a bad first round, especially with this big of a field, if you finish last, you're putting yourself in such a big hole early on that you'll have to have perfect second or third rounds or win one of the next 2 rounds to try to dig yourself out of it. So it's a bit of a torch setting night. Finish strong here and set the table for the next 2 rounds where you can kind of keep the ball in your hands and set the table, because you do not want to be a driver that can't control your own destiny and have to rely on others, or be in a spot where you have to kind of just hope that things go right. Warm should go by quick, though, as it only is 5 minutes. Most drivers probably are going to use this opportunity, some to race the track, others to try to tackle pit road entry and exit, especially exit being a bit of the trickier side. With these 1.5 mile overs, it's hard to kind of get it woed down on the surface and get in.
Yeah, it's about a half oval. One of the last ones on the calendar. Next week's race, Homestead, will be the last one on the calendar. Then we head to Martinsville, the elimination race, and then Phoenix, the championship round. Daniel Michelle just went fastest, so showing that qualifying 10th, not out of the question for Daniel Michelle. And still trying to move forward tonight.
Michelle, which just went fastest, then topped by Gaiman. So qualifying pace not really as indicative here in the warm-up, but the warm-up shows that they had to have some pace here at the very least. As they're currently 1-2 at the moment. Then to a Presidential Racing Machines with Purnell and Proudfoot and Donald Ray, who's now driving for Sunny Man Racing, in 5th in the top of the warm-up sheets right now. And Proudfoot's been an interesting case as now Wanzin goes the fastest, but Proudfoot's been very interesting. He's been here all the playoff rounds, obviously came in on the second round of team shuffles, and only had really 2 races to try to get into the playoffs, and he sadly couldn't pull it off at the Glen Nay Daytona, so he never really had a chance at the championship, but he's been quite strong for all the rounds he's shown. He's been a consistent top 5 runner, and he's still kind of knocking on the door here to try to get that first win here this season in A squared, and he's been the spoiler of spoilers, if you will. Been a bit of a thorn in the side of the top runners, and he's usually been up front fighting it out with everyone else. So good to see on that point at the very least. Yeah, looking at the chat as warm is coming close here to finish, about 1 minute and some change to go here. But this field is pretty competitive. It's usually competitive week in and week out, and especially looking at these warm times, and if you're here for qualifying times as well, very close throughout. So this is not a gimme for any driver here.
Yeah, it's a competitive field top to bottom, especially with 21 cars here. You look at really throughout, especially at a track like Las Vegas. Again, a popular track. This track suits the car extremely well. This car really good at intermediates. I think we're going to have a pretty barnstorming race tonight.
This clock about to finish up here with warm-ups. Last-minute laps. Only a few drivers left on the track. Really just Donald Ray. Seth Wansing is coming in right now. But yeah, that's going to be it for warm-ups. And we are going to get ready for 134 laps here at Las Vegas.
Alrighty, with the race getting ready to begin here, let's walk down to starting grid. Brandon Feta place, the front of the field, a pole position for him, but he's going to have a lot of competition early. Seth Wansing alongside him on the front row. They're ahead of Edward Marshall and Donald Ray, which will try to play spoiler tonight. And again, it's very pivotal. Again, track position is kind of important here. You can work your way forward. But if you're someone like Edward Marshall, Donald Ray, or Dale Markowski, and Patrick Overstat, makes it pretty easy to battle for that race lead early. David Wright, Josh Gaiman in row 4. David Wright won the race last night for the SNS series. Can he go for the sweep? We'll find out. Mike LaJoy, Dana Michelle in row 5. Row 6 is Tommy Reynolds and Ryan Pinnell. Trying to get the top 12 and looking throughout the rest of the field here. Tom Sears and Steven Overstat in row 7. Row 8 is Emma Kruger and Elrich George. Row 9, Jeremy Brayo and Kevin Feemster. Austin Mongold and Tommy Withers in row 10 with Brandon Proudfoot. We saw the pace of that 22 in warm-up, but he'll start those races in the back of the field.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
It should be interesting. Again, Feta place and Wansing at the front of the field. They're marked in red. All the drivers marked in red are playoff contenders. And they're sprinkled in throughout the entire field. But all 8 of them are present tonight.
Yep.
Down the back straightaway. The next steps towards championship reality awaits one of these 8 drivers. 13 others try to play spoiler tonight. So Toyota and Chevrolet at the front of the field, then it's a Ford and a Chevrolet behind. Speed ready to go. Pace car pulls in. And the ARCS Las Vegas 200 is underway. We're racing in the desert.
As they come off a 4 here to start lap number 1, it's going to be Brandon Feta place, the regular season champion. He's going to get the first lap led here, but Wansing and his teammate Edward Marshall going to be in charge here as they battle for second. They try to fight it out here. See Gaiman running that very high line there in the back. Going to try to charge up here, trying a bit of an unorthodox approach here early on. Run where they ain't, and he's trying to do that at the very least there, but looks like he'll slot back in on the low side here behind Donald Ray.
So the outside lane worked a little bit last night in the truck series, but the inside lane is going to be the predominant lane here in this race. We raced under the lights last night. It is pure daytime here today. So track temps will be a little bit higher. Tires are going to be more important to manage. And if you're on that outside lane, you're going to wear your tires a little bit quicker tonight. We saw that last night in spades. Very important to manage your tires, especially across these first couple stages.
Yep, look at that 3 wide there. Gaiman, Ray, and Marshall were 3 wide for a second. Looks like they'll get it fanned out here, but look at this little gaggle of cars. Top 10 was going to be competitive in times. Well, we'll say the top 8 at the very least. Well, in this little pack we're watching right here from Wansing all the way to Pinnell. Speaking of Wansing, he was able to get around Feather Place for the lead. You can just see as they battle out here a little bit further back, you can see Pennell, Oberstadt, and Feemster all on the surface right now. Fighting for cars. Should be worth noting as well. Speaking of Kevin Feemster, he did go the fastest. Sorry, Stefan Oberstadt went the fastest, my mistake, as he goes the quickest, using a bit of that toe here, and is trying to be in the tail in this little pack here, trying to charge up here. He was a bit of a spoiler, if you will. He used a tiebreaker to get in for the round of 16 to the round of 12, and then used another tiebreaker to get from the round of 12 to the round of 8. So he has been a very strong driver, has been consistently there, and he's had the help of the tiebreaker to get to the 2 rounds, and he's looking to maybe not have to rely on a tiebreaker, get to the round of 4 without needing it, but he's used it twice. I don't think he'll have any problem reading for thrice, as he's looking to try to maybe get a Ryan Pennell here and get a charge.
Yeah, Oberstadt lucked into the round of 8. Tiebreaker, you mentioned you're doing it twice here. Right now, looking at Daniel Michel. Top 10's just not going to be enough here now. Now you have to be consistently applying pressure to the top 5. As a car spins.
Oh, that's through the grass. That's the 41 of Patrick Oberstadt. One brother showing strength. The other one had a bit of bad luck there. He'll get it saved through the grass.
They stay green.
They still fan out avoid it. Good. No caution. Only one car, so no caution will be triggered. Go back to see exactly what happened here. It looks like he either got a little help from Edward Marshall that may have got him around, or he kind of lost on his own. I think he got just a tad of help from the 16. Speaking of the 16, currently under attack by Daniel Michel, who's moved his way up through the field here quite quickly here, up 6 spots. Not the biggest mover by any means. The biggest mover technically is currently at the moment Brandon Proudfoot, who's up 9 spots. But he starts up the thing. We'll cut back to the replay here. You can just see right there, little hook, and it also checks in the Donald Ray. So Ray gets a piece of that too, but the big lose there is Patrick Oberstadt, who ends up through the grass and losing a lot of spots.
Headed up through the field.
Oh, almost 3 wide there. Tommy Reynolds almost took it 3 wide just in the background there. There again, you can see it's Ray, Pennell, and Reynolds trying to fight, but and they're 2 wide. Here's Feemster join the party as well.
Top 10 all on a blanket.
Finally looks like they'll get it sorted, at least for the moment. Feemster will actually capitalize there. There you can see Patrick Oberstadt. No, sorry, Stefan Oberstadt, my mistake. Fighting Edward Marshall, trying to take the inside here. Michelle was able to get clear. Marshall going the wrong way quickly here. They've got a bit of an anchor on that car. Reynolds also gets around Feemster. You're gonna see 2-2-1-1. It's like a soccer formation, if you will. Drivers making moves because they don't want to allow that front pack to drive away too much. You can see, yeah, top 4 as we're currently watching at the moment. Currently about a little over a second clear of Marshall, Oberstadt, Ray, Pennell, and Reynolds and Feemster. So don't want to let, because even though technically there will be a stage reset at 35 for drivers in the playoffs, those extra points could be crucial come Martinsville time. Gaiman trying that line you guys saw last night in the truck series, trying to go high again. It's 3 wide at the moment. Gaiman's able to clear Feather Place. Michelle is as well, so Feather Place becomes the big loser. 2-for-1 special loss for Feather Place. He'll fall down the 4th. Gaiman, though, looking to spoil the Sunday Money Racing party here. Currently in 2nd, trying to take the top spot here. Watson goes high to the top side. Gaiman goes low. Gaiman looks like he should be able to get a good run here to clear. He will try to cut the dogleg. He will cut the dogleg, go as low as he dares. Wansing will lead the lap, though. I'm going to try to drive it in deep again. Can't get up just enough. Wanzing gets the run off, and he will keep first for the moment. Getting some help there from Michelle as well. Michelle gaming now side by side, just up the surface. Michelle will hold second, at least for now. But it's kind of showing the outside line can work if done correctly, it seems. It's about getting the run off the corner you need, but obviously as the wear of these tires come, that high line is going to become a little less viable. Ticks on by. Michelle, they'll now clear a Gaiman, but Gaiman going to try to put a fender in there to try to keep it active. Featherplace, seeing kind of the call of the wild here, ditches Gaiman, goes high. And then Michelle jumps low. Featherplace now going to try a similar tactic that Wanzing used and Michelle used, try to get around, and he will successfully do it. So Gaiman just loses 2 spots, so he used the high line to his advantage to get to second, and then got stuck low, and now he's down to 4th again.
And you'll see this back and forth just about all race long. Especially once you get Tommy Reynolds in the fray. He's not far behind this.
Yep. Right now, Edward Marsh has caught back up, so he's able to kind of lead the second pack, and he's joined the fray here. Reynolds looks like he's on the move as well. Currently got his way up to 6th position. But he's about a second back of this pack here, but it can be shown if you can get some lap times down, you can get back up if you got the pace. Now that you can see there in the foreground, Michelle and Featherplace fighting hard for second. Wanzing does like to see this. He's not getting really any challenge here at the moment. And we do have a caution. It's going to be for the 12 of Ryan Pinnell. And oh, big lick. That's also Mike LaJoy involved as well. And I think maybe someone got ran into possibly. There's the 48 of Markowski. Dale Markowski. It makes me wonder because we saw the second pack, the third pack catch the second pack there as the run was going on. Looks like something happened. So we'll take a look here. You can see right there, LaJoy's on the inside of Pinnell. Oh.
Ryan Pinnell was already loose, and Pinnell got slammed by Kruger.
Yeah, big. Playoff implications there. Kruger going to get some good damage. He'll have to fix that. But you can see he just kind of drifts up the race surface. So we'll pull it back just a little bit here. Give a full shot. You can just see just hits the wall, comes off, and there's nothing LaJoy could do. LaJoy was there, and there's nothing he could do. And you can see gets a little bit air, clips to 4, and then Kruger piles in aggressively there. And you can just see a lot of damage on the front end of that 70. Take one more perspective. We're right on board here with the 70. Emma Kruger. As you see on the hood cam here, you can see she's just kind of riding along. You can see in the grass. Doesn't think they're going to come out at this point, though. She's trying to get on the brakes, trying to avoid it, hit close to the wall. But she misses by a couple inches and piles into the 12. So back to live action here. Kruger already pitted under the previous lap to fix the car up. Looks like she elected to burn a fast repair. She landed a 15-minute stop, so she's used her one and only fast repair. For the people that are new here, just in case they have not tuned in and week out, the drivers are allowed one fast repair for the troubles if they so choose to elect to use it, and Emma Kruger has used hers. A few other cars like to come in along with Tommy Withers, Ryan Pinnell, David Wright, Brandon Proudfoot, Dale Markowski, Mike LaJoy, Jeremy Breo, and Austin Mongold. Some involved in the accident, others elected to try to get off sequence, maybe try to give this last 15 laps of the stage a run to try to get a little bit further up the track. If you also are new to A-Squared, Sunday night A-Squared competition here, one of the things, they follow the actual NASCAR procedures and rule sets. So we'll see the shoes cone coming up here in this regard. We'll see how the drivers choose. So if they go down to the bottom of the apron, they'll choose the inside line. And if they stay close to the wall, they'll be on the outside line. So the choose already kind of happening here. You can see Wanzing and Michelle elect to go high. And Featherplace will be the first driver that elects to go low here. So front row will be Wanzing and Featherplace. And as the rest kind of cycle in here, we'll see how they all go. Looks like it's going to be Michelle and Marshall in row 2 and Reynolds and Gaiman in row 3. Ray and Stefan Oberstadt in row 4. It looks like it's going to be Feemster and Sears in row number 5. So to get ready to go live here.
That's the Mongol in pit lane.
Yeah, remember, he was involved in that incident. We saw him tag into the 12, but back in the pit lane again. Looks like he's coming back out again, so maybe he just had some extra damage had to fix.
You'll not be back in time to join the field.
Nope. At this point, just kind of hanging on to get to the end of stage without going one down would be the end goal of the 4. If he wants the clean track, if there's a quick caution, he could capitalize. Anyway, pace car going to pull on in. It's going to be on Wanzing's control. Bean is out, and away we go here on lap 21. He's going to try to charge here quickly to get the inside line and work here because we saw 3 cars go high. So we've seen that outside line we saw throughout the race on that run. The outside line gets the charge off the corners necessary. So Fireplace will have to capitalize quickly here. And it could be a bit indicative for late race restarts and late race stage cautions. Try to know what line may be the best producer. Speaking of, though, you can see right there in the back, Reynolds is able to go high to low, and he's made up the 3rd. Michelle, though, gets a little tap from Gaiman. Michelle gets a little loose, and he saves it, but Michelle going the wrong way quickly. He's almost 4 wide here, hanging up to the high side of the wall. I think Michelle got a little loose off 4. That cost him a bit of a run, and then going into 1, that run is paid off, and he taps Ray. Teammates collide there.
Michelle got help from Josh Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
But it got physical in a hurry.
Yeah, it did. Michelle not going to be too thrilled. He's looking to get some good stage points. Still can. But he's got to try to stop the bleeding here and get back. Kind of like a pitcher that gets rocked. Just going to look to try to get back into formation and get re-gripped. Looks like he'll find his footing at least for now. But P8's not where he wants to be at the moment. David Wright, though, another playoff driver looking to try to get on the inside here. Already got passed by a couple. About to be another one right there. Oberstadt goes high to low, almost chop blocks the 42. Almost 3 wide here again.
Yeah, right, shooting the gap through the middle and makes it through.
Yeah, he is the tire whisperer, so wouldn't be shocked if he's really saved those tires up for this late run here.
Coming to 10 to go in the stage. As Michelle continues to pull it backwards. Down in the 9th place is another caution's out.
Yep, just in
and
the back.
Marshall.
It's a 16 Edward Marshall, and I think Gaiman's cutting through the grass right now, so I think he either tried to avoid it or he had a piece of it.
Here's a look.
So take a look here.
Oh, I think he got tagged by Reynolds.
Oh, Reynolds. Yeah, similar to the first caution we saw there. A little different, though, but similar-ish kind of approach. I see a few cars like to pit. I think the whole field is going to pit here. That is going to be pretty much the whole field here. Makes me wonder if that possibly was the end of the stage, possibly because I saw them close the pit lane with 2 to go. There would be my hunch. Rest of the field, though, all coming in too, which is a bit off if they were going to 35. So, irregardless, though, Kruger, LaJoy, Mongold all stay out. Rest of the field comes on in.
Stage was on lap 25.
Okay, so it was the end of the stage. Got it. Which is odd because they are going to 70. I know stage 2 is 70, so a little longer for stage 2. Rest of the field will pit, though. And the stage win will go to Feather Place. So put 10 points in his column. So it should be worth noting some different elements of strategy here. Brandon Proudfoot, David Wright like to come in, take fuel only on their pit stops. Feather Place, Wanzing, Gaiman all took 4 tires. Breo and Withers also took fuel only. So few drivers likely to try to roll the dice here for stage number 2, even though it's a bit of a longer stage. They think the tires can get them farther, or in some of the other drivers' cases, they pit like Brandon Proudfoot. They pitted under lap 19 along with a few others and just have still fresh tires. So, differing bags here. We'll see choose in effect. Emma Kruger takes the lead by inheritance. She will take the high line here. Michael Joy will elect to take the bottom. Austin Mongold bottom, Proudfoot high. So that will be your first 2 rows there. Then it's going to be Wright in Feather Place. Wanzing looks like he'll be lined up as I'm waiting for them to cycle in here by Josh Gaiman. And then it's going to be Breo and Ray. That will be your first 5 rows here as we come ready for the start of stage number 2. What's interesting to note is Michelle elected to come in twice there. He, along with Ryan Pinnell and Kevin Feemster, electing to come in a second time to top off. Very odd choice, but Michelle feels confident with this to kind of get some extra fuel in the car. Better to have it than not have it and need it than not have it and need it.
It'll be Kruger and LaJoy at the front of the field. Green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway here at Vegas.
Who gets a great launch there. The only thing I do wonder as we see this run go on here, when will those tires fall off? As she did pit on 18 for fresh rubber, but 10 laps can make all difference in the world at the very least. But right now, though, Kruger, even though there's no bonus points, she will at least lead a lap for her own confidence. With Proudfoot, LaJoy, Mongold, Wanzing the top 5. Wanzing, though, already flying quickly here along with Feather Place. You can just see in the back right there that blue Miller White car and that light blue Ghost machine is there, trying to carve the way for the field here to get back to the lead. Gaiman in tow. They're going to try to split team boss Breo and Mongold. Kruger leads another lap here, but looks like Proudfoot is starting to hound the back of that 70. There's Gaiman making a move on Mongold. But this is also good knowledge for some of these drivers as well. If we do get a late caution, whether it may be smart to come in or whether it may be smart to try to maybe take the tire deficit if it could work out. And right now, at least if it was a green-white checkered, staying out seems to be the smart call. But things change. Wanzing, though, is going to make a move on the inside to LaJoy, and he now will be up, almost up the 3rd position. And now he'll officially be in 3rd as he will clear the 88 machine. And there's Proudfoot going on, move on Kruger on the inside. And that 22 get the run he needs. look at Wanzing, gets a good run here. He's going to challenge at least Proudfoot and Kruger, possibly take a 2-for-1 here. Gonna get, tried maybe to go to the low side there. A hole was open, but Wanzing thinks better of it. He'll hang on the high side here. Kruger gonna try to block the 22, which I don't know if is the smartest choice.
I don't disagree with their objective. Hold the bottom lane.
Mm-hmm. That 9's got a fresh head of steam.
That 9's gonna, I think, be unstoppable no matter what because of the tire difference. For
Sure.
Kruger, it's just about staying in that inside lane and preserving the track position more than anything.
Fair. They're running 2 different races, so don't put yourself in a bad hole.
Bingo. Outside lane burns more tires. Kruger's already in that deficit, so there's no reason to chase that battle.
Yeah. Especially with the poor stage 1. Yeah, especially with the poor stage 1. Want to get as many points if you can in the stage. Just slot back up the 3rd here. Proudfoot will also get clear. So top 6, all in this little pack here. We're watching Gaiman just a little bit of a distant 7th. With Donald Ray a little bit of a distant 8th. After that, you can see on the timing scoring, there's a big separation from Ray to Sears. Bob ILS second there. You can see it right there in that shot. So it's a little bit of a checkup, and that second pack is going to have to try to reel in this first pack before we get the 70. It's interesting to note is Wanzing really got his way up to the field quickly while Featherplace has been kind of struggling, if you will. He seemed like he was matching Wanzing toe for toe. And now he's either maybe playing the element of long game here, not wanting to press the issue since Wanzing's so close. But it's just interesting to note that he's not been able to get through it as quickly. It looks like he's going to finish a move there. You can see in the long shot there. It looks like he's going to get around Breo here. And get himself back in the top 5. Or at least try to. It looks like he's gonna have to try to get a run the inside here, which is not great. LaJoy, though, and Breo both come down, so Featherplace will stay 6. And now here is Gaiman and Ray. Both have caught back up because of the checkups in this pack. LaJoy gets a little bit slower off the exit there, and he's going to get passed by 3 to 4 cars, and now he is going to fall to the tail end of this line. There you can see also the background there. It looks like it's battle between Sears and Reynolds. Reynolds did not... Another car that was strong there on restart 1. Well, I would say restart 1, but stage 1. Was able to get himself back up this front pack, and now having to do the same thing he did in 1, now in stage 2. Along with Michelle, who, remember, pitted an extra time on lap 27, was at the tail end of the line. He's already back up just on the outside in 11th, so... You know that 725 both have strong, fast rocket ships under them. But they're going to have to get up to the second pack quite quickly if they want to try to challenge here for something. Even though lap 70 is the end stage, still a bit of a ways away as Sears gets a little checked up there. Michelle cannot capitalize.
This is about for 9th place at the moment. 1.8 adrift of the top 8. Oh, trouble! Marshall.
Ooh, Marshall saves it. Gonna come to the track just a bit here, but all cars will be clear. As long as he can keep it fired, he will stay green here. But second time that 16's been in trouble here tonight. But back up front, 61, 34, 74. 2 Bichon cars and Featherplace side by side. 3 wide through 1 and 2 there. This is what that second pack wants to get caught up. If they get racy like this, it's going to allow that second groove to catch. Which is not good news for LaJoy and Kruger, where the tire deficit's going to come worse and worse. They don't want to add more cars to this pack. Featherplace now up the 3rd. Gaiman going to be in the 4th. And Breo in 5th. So... Highest driver running the alternate strategy right now would technically be Breo, who did come on 26, but took only fuel. Actually, it would be Proudfoot, my mistake, who also came on 26 with fuel only too. So both him and Breo on the same tires of Kruger and LaJoy, but topped it off with a bit of fuel. Speaking of, there goes Proudfoot on the inside. The place also now going to try to challenge here. I don't want to allow that 9 to get too far away here. The 34 will get clear of the 22, so put Feather Place up to second. Gaiman now up, well, almost up to third here yet. Let's see if he can get the runoff he needs. Yeah, he's now well clear of the 22, so put him up third. So playoff drivers 1, 2, 3, but looking at that top 10, only 5 out of the 8 playoff drivers are currently sitting in the top 10, and 3 of those 5 are only in the top 5. So very interesting to note at the very least, with some of the other drivers, some of the other playoff drivers kind of buried in that second pack, just on the outside of the top 10.
I'm trying to battle Feather Place here. Gaiman in the 61, Feather Place in the 34. As they battle, it's allowed Wanzing to get away.
Oh, just thought I saw Ray get a little loose there, but it looks like Bro keeps it pointing in the right direction, but it almost looked like we were on the Tinseltown of accident. Oh, another close touch there, aggressively side drafting the 22 and the 70.
Berger fighting back on those older tires. That's been impressive.
Again, good knowledge if we do get a late caution in the final stage.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Sometimes
you don't take tires. You do not take tires on that last restart unless you feel like, unless you're already in the back of the field trying to make some inroads. Nah, if you're like top 10, you don't.
Yeah, look at that though. Sears has caught the second pack here. Well, caught the first pack, I should say, from the second pack. He's already got around LaJoy. Michelle's also joined the fray as well.
Yeah, they dispatched and let Tommy Reynolds go.
And then you can see that pack with Reynolds, Feemster, Overstat, George, and Patrick Overstat all in this next little pack here. Reynolds has not really gotten the giddy up and go we saw in stage number 1. We've seen this throughout the season where he seems to have a strong car in the first stage, and then it seems to fall off in the second stage. But then it usually sometimes brings back to the final stage. The second stage is a bit of a possum stage, if you will, which is fine in the regular season or when there's a lot of chance to get points in the line. But right now, with being so close, and you do have at least a bit of a cushion with your 2 wins and the extra bonus points that provides, right now, currently not getting any stage points at the moment and being outrun by 6 playoff drivers. Oh, he hits the wall there. That's going to make a bad problem
A little
worse.
bit of net code. Reynolds got loose. A little bit of net code bounced him up off of Feemster and into the wall. But as you mentioned, that makes his run for stage points a lot more difficult as there goes the right front.
Yep.
Saw it let go there.
He is going to have to come down and take service.
Big time. He won't be alone in that regard because Edward Marshall's already done the same as well.
Yep, here he comes. Going to try to get it woed down. Don't want to speed to make a problem worse here, but you don't want to lose time on pit. Yeah, he'll get it stopped just in the nick of time. He's going to lose at least 2 laps here at the very least.
That's painful.
Yeah. He's going to have to try to recover here aggressively. We've seen him do it at other places. Dover and a few other tracks early in the year. He kind of, I wouldn't say backed into a win, but was able to kind of get back in a sequence to get back in competitive ways. But we'll see if he can try to rebound. But definitely going to rely heavily on those extra 10 bonus points here. At
David
the very
Wright's
least,
also come down pit lane.
Yeah. Odd.
Very interesting strategy call here.
Yeah, that's just. Oh, he actually spun coming into pit lane and hit the wall, the inside wall almost. Actually, he didn't hit it, but it did cost him time. Yeah.
Reynolds back out. He stays on the lead. He stays a lap down. He's the first car a lap down right now. David Wright will go a lap down now.
Yeah, and then it will be Wright will take that distinction. But now the game will be on between him and Reynolds.
There's Reynolds going through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Wright will come out ahead as he's just getting passed by Withers now. He'll get up to speed.
Not far away, though.
Yeah, no, they're going to fight hard here for the lucky dog position. As again, stage ends on lap 70, so at that point right now, both drivers are going to fight hard.
Importantly, both of them took fuel only.
Yeah. And the same point, also worth noting as well, right now about 2 corners away, it's still a pretty big distance, but Wanzing is not looking at the pace right now. He'll catch Ryan Pennell and Edward Marshall, but if he catches Ryan Pennell, that could be a bit of a monkey wrench for both those playoff drivers, so they better hope at the very least Wanzing doesn't get the Pennell before the stage ends, because that would have to take the wave around, but then be in a bigger deficit as well. But we'll see. Check out this battle here. We know Feather plays a game, and while we've been kind of covering that, have been having a tip-top battle here for second. Not allowing either driver really to kind of let go here. Every time gaming gets run, it switches back to Feather Place. And they've left Donald Ray alone in the pack here. Kruger, should be worth noting, really on those old tires, really holding strong. Currently 5th, but hounded down by team boss Sears and Stefan Oberstadt there in 7th. She's holding on strong, but still a ways away from the end of the stage. But even if she falls a few more spots, it's still a big net gain from where she was at the end of stage 1, along with Breo and a few others that took that alt strategy. Now the only thing I kind of wonder is, again, we always talk about, I would say team owners, team bosses, but the Sears kind of give Kruger a bit of a break here and not try to be too aggressively trying to make the pass happen here. Because obviously with Sears not in the playoffs, Kruger is. You don't want to end up wrecking your own teammate who's still fighting for a championship.
A little bit of dust come off the wall there. Patrick Oberstadt tagged it, but Michelle in the 25 ended up worse for wear, having to lose several spots here. In the process, Austin Mongold also almost tagged the wall out of 4 there.
Yep.
So some drivers beginning to feel the effects of the tire wear, especially those that have been pushing.
Yeah. We know some drivers are great at getting their tires and making them last long. Other drivers sometimes struggle a bit. So this is going to be kind of, to be a champion, you got to be kind of all around. And right now, it's favoring some. Austin Mongold coming in, by the way. He has signaled he's coming in, so keep an eye on your screen here. Well, you'll see it's not really being covered, but he'll be coming in. So he's in. It makes me wonder how many other cars will elect to come in here for the end of the stage. Looks like Ray and Kruger both coming in as well. Well, definitely Kruger. I'm not 100% about Ray. We'll see in a second here.
Oh, and this will be trouble! Yeah. Close!
Kruger actually going to jump the 50 because the 50 took it a bit too cautious. So Gaiman also came in as well. Should be worth noting as well.
And
just up the screen a little bit. Yeah. Wanzing in this time by, so everyone pitting. Feather Place as well. So now it kind of makes me wonder if I'm actually kind of curious where White's going to cycle here, at least a little bit here. It was only on, I didn't have a tire advantage per se, but with most of these cars here pitting, taking 4 tires, we'll see if those cars can gain at least a little bit here, both Wright and Reynolds. But staying out at the moment, Sears, Oberstadt, Patrick Oberstadt, Michael Joy, Alfred George, Daniel Michelle, Dale Markowski, and Tommy Withers, top 8. Stefan Oberstadt coming in this time behind the 3, so we'll see him take the inside line here, and he'll be coming on in. So Sears still chugging along here. We saw him at Darlington. He went long. He made the strategy work, and he got to the end of stage 1 and stage 2, so he knows how to do this. Question is that on the cards to the 14? Even if it is it even possible? Patrick Overstat coming in this time by. Withers as well, so top 8 all seem to fall off here, pitting in.
No pressure right now for Sears. Sears, everyone that's pit is firmly a lap down right now, minus Josh Gaiman.
Yep, Sears coming in. Gaiman will inherit the lead, by the way, when all cycles in. But worth noting, Wanzing, he took 4 tires. A lot of his people around him, competitors, all took few only or 2 tires at the minimum. He elected to take 4. So, odd. I would say an odd choice, but a choice he's going to have to try to drive the tail off here in the 7 laps to try to get back to this front stage here. But I don't think that's highly likely looking at the gap here at the moment. But we'll see how it all cycles out here. Markowski pitting in. So Michelle and George and Ryan Pennell, the only 3 cars yet to make their pit stop here in stage number 2. There's Seth Wanzing looking, trying to unlap himself. You can just see in that Miller Lite scheme.
There's George leading the way for as much as it's worth.
So all the way up to the top 8 have unlapped themselves, while Sears going to be lapped down for a moment. I think he should be able to get back around Elvis George. So top 7 have unlapped themselves, with a few still yet to make a pit stop.
6 to go in the stage.
Again, has Alfred George found that switch? Danny Michelle coming in this time by, so he is pitting. And that will just leave the 2 presidential race machines yet to come in. Alfred George in this time by as well. So George and Michelle both in. We'll see if Ryan Pennell follows. If Ryan Pennell does, then the lead will be handed over to Gaiman. Maybe that Gaiman's only about 6 seconds back of Ryan Pennell here, so it's a long way on the track, though. It's not gonna be an easy catch, especially considering Gaiman is on the same tires that Pennell is. Yep, Ryan Pennell stays out.
Keep in mind, pit lane closes the end of lap 68.
So yeah, if he's gonna pit, he has to pit before 68. And I don't like the odds he's going to make it, but at this point, he's rolling the dice for something.
Not in yet. That's interesting.
Because, I mean, if the caution were to come out, it wouldn't even end. No, it would end the stage. They maybe try to go for a 1-lap shootout like we've seen before, but likely that happening is not high. So Pennell stays out. So Pennell currently leads. Gaiman's currently in second. Wanzing's gotten it back up to third with those fresh tires. Looking to actually get second here.
That's why I saw that battle. I saw that gap close. Well, I don't think on fresh tires will breeze by Gaiman here.
So Wanzing actually makes it work here at the very least, but similar to stage 1 at the moment, we saw Feather Place, but with a late caution ending the stage, Feather Place able to win the stage, just getting ahead of Wanzing. So Wanzing looking to win the stage right now. With 2 to 6 lap 68, still no sign of Pennell pitting, but Wanzing with those fresh tires could reel that 12 down. Because looking at times, Wanzing ran a 36.2 last time by, Ryan Pennell ran a 32.22. And pit lane has closed. Well, it's not closed yet, it's been reopened. It will close once Ryan Pennell crosses the line this time by. But at the rate they're going, Wanzing should catch that 12. And that 12 stays out for another one. So 2 to go in the stage. Gap is 2.53 between Pennell and Wanzing. You saw on that timing scoring thing, Ray was able to get around Feather Place. And Michelle was able to get around Sears. So a few more playoff indication on points there as well. Ryan Pennell hoping for maybe a caution stump in here to try to get it. Because right now Wanzing's coming like a bat out of hell. Down to 1 second will cross the line on the last lap of the stage here. 0.70 is the gap between Pinnell and Wansing. Wansing should easily get this on the backstretch here. But it's still a good call by Pinnell, though. Even though he won't win the stage, it's still going to be P2 in the stage at the very least, which is still good for that 12.
And he was really undercut by Wansing, who took 4 tires on that stage. Donald Ray got mired in traffic. Josh Gaiman didn't take tires. So that's a huge net gain for Ryan Pinnell, who was sitting 21st for a period of time.
Yeah, because he was involved in that opening. That will end the stage right now. So it's going to be Wansing, Pinnell, Gaiman, Ray, Feather Place, Breo, Mongold, Michelle, Sears, and Oberstadt will be the top 10 here at the end of stage number 2. Lucky Dog will go to Dale Markowski, as he is one of the only 2 cars, 1 down. So he will get his luck lap back, and Edward Marshall will still be, at the moment, trapped at least 1 down. So interesting element of strategy there. We'll see how it plays out. Right now, as pit stops are about to occur here, or at least we'll see pit road enter here. Should be worth noting, right now, lowest playoff driver right now is Tommy Reynolds, currently in 15th position. Reynolds, along with Wright and Kruger, currently outside the top 10, not get any points for the troubles in stage 2. Looking to have a good final distance to the check flag here. Pit stop lane has opened, and everyone will be coming on in for fresh tires and fuel. For maybe some of the cars that elected to take 4 tires, maybe like the Breos and the Rays, maybe they'll try something similar to Proudfoot and Kruger, and maybe try fuel only here to get track position. They do have that fresh tires. They do have those fresher tires, so they can go try something different here. And that is what, speaking of, that is actually what Breo did. He wins the race off pit lane here. Fuel only for the 74 machine. Everyone else, though, taking 4 tires. It's going to be Wansing, Ray, Feather Place, Michelle, Mongold, your top 6 here as they all cycle off pit lane. So Breo rolls the dice, and he will inherit the lead. So we're at 2 to green this time by, so next time by we'll see the choose. And we just see where everyone goes. We've seen that inside line, especially for the first one on the inside line, you can, if you can time it all right, hang on to the car on the outside line. So it's not a totally strategy. Choose is going to be happening this time by. And we're going to see where everyone picks. Looks like as Marshall will take the wave around here. We'll see where everyone else goes. Looks like Breo is going to be the first leader to take the low side here. Wansing will follow high. Then it's going to be Ray in Feather Place, row 2. Row 3 is going to be Michelle and Mongold. As the rest cycle in here, you can see LaJoy and Pinnell take high. We'll see the next car electing to go low here. I think it's maybe David Wright. It will be David Wright. So David Wright and LaJoy will take row 4, and Reynolds and Pinnell will be row 5, and that will be your first 10 positions here as we get going here for the start of the final stage. So his pace car going to take the hard left into the pit lane here. It's going to be on Breo's control. Green flag is out, and away we go for the final stage. Good launch there by the 74. And he will keep it going into 1 as the rest try to fan out for positions. Look at Tommy Reynolds already trying to take advantage on David Wright and go 3 wide. You can just see that. Oh, wreck in the back, smoke in the back. Car around, hard in the wall. It's a 61 to Josh Gaiman. Big playoff indications there. 61, hard in the wall. He'll get it fired back around here. But that's a big lick for the 61. So we'll take a look here. Oh, Kruger got a little squirrely. 61 got a little tap and then got help from the 22 there, and it sent him hard into the outside wall there. Gaiman kind of just innocent in that situation. Had to check it for the 70 and just kind of came down to 22, and then as you can see there,
he's wrecked again.
Actually, yeah, wrecked again. That is live timing. Similar wall tap, just different corner.
Oh, I think this suspension broke on that car.
Yeah, the problem is the moment leaders are currently going 3 and 4, so even if he gets in the box, he's going to go 1 down. Here's the second spin happened.
Yeah,
you can see it already crab
trapped.
walking.
Yeah.
And that just spun it on the apron there, kicked back in the wall again. Been a bit of a tale, the 61 here. He's had fast cars, but the problem is he's had a bit of bad luck, the name to say. He's had good stages, and then just has bad runs in this regard where he has an incident. Luckily, I think he still has a fast pair as he's not been involved in an incident. So it should not be race over for the 61. The only downside, though, is he is going to go 1 down. Yeah, he will officially go 1 down. Pace car just passed him, so Gaiman will now be officially 1 down here, which is not good. Marshall, though, on the other hand, will get his lap back, though, at least for good news for him, and it'll put him on the lead lap. So at least for Gaiman, if we do get another caution, he will be the only car 1 down, and presumably could be the first car to get a lap back if the caution comes at the right time. A few other cars electing to pit there, including Proudfoot, Markowski, Sears, and Feemster. Looks like Sears and Feemster are having a bit longer stops here, maybe fixing up some extra damage, or taking a bit of a break here, maybe taking a sip of water while coming down here on an uncrowded pit lane.
Fourth caution of the night for an incident involving Josh Gaiman at the moment. They are in stage 3, the very opening parts of it. A long race to go, but Gaiman currently the only car a lap down at the moment. So still a chance. Only car in the free pass position could be pivotal. For those tuning in, spending your Sunday evening with us here on AB and Esports 1, we appreciate it. For those new, I'm Carmen Sienna alongside me, Kevin Young, presenting tonight's action. A lot of news coming up over the next couple weeks. Keep an eye on abnesports.com for all the latest. Championship rounds here in the ARCS Cup Series. Beginning of the round of 8. The defending series champion will not be able to hold that crown a second time this season. Driver behind him, though, could hold it for a third time, so that's Wanzing still in contention. Look at the punches taken into the championship for Phoenix.
So see how they choose here in regard, as we are on the one to go here. So choose will be indicative. Brea went low last time, and it looks like he is gonna go low, and Wanzing will go high. So similar front row that it was last time. So the rest of the field elects to cycle through here. It's going to be Ray in Feather Place row 2, Mongold Michelle row 3. So the rest of the pack a little bit further back here. We'll see how they all cycle in. Looks like it's going to be LaJoy inside, Reynolds outside for row 4, and then Wright and Pinnell will be row 5. And that will be your first 5 rows here. All right, here we go.
Wanzing in second place, Jimmy Bray on the front row. Pacer gets ready to come in.
Yep. His car in. Rayo's control. He did it right last time. We'll see if he can do it again. Green flag is out, and away we go. Rayo times it well again. Race is on for second here. Ray, though, gets the charge on the inside. Shows that inside line may be a strong choice here. There you can see 3 wide. Michelle, LaJoy, and Feather Place. We haven't said much about Michelle's. He had a little bit of a struggle in stage 2. He's now trying to charge his way forward here. Right on board here with the 42 and the Texas Pete machine. He's good at these long runs with these tire saving opportunities, and he's looking to try to take advantage here. Bit of a dark horse here in the round of 8. But Tommy Reynolds on his inside going to zoom on in. They should get clear both here, so put Reynolds up to 7th. Same of his number's sake. Right, though. Gonna kind of shove LaJoy out of the way there. Hard to tell from the onboard shot there, but LaJoy was on his outside, and they got a little touchy touch. And Wright gonna be kind of the big loser here. He's falling back kind of quickly here. Finally, he's kind of slot in here, but now Kruger gonna be on his inside. Back up to position here with Austin Mongold and Feather Place battling for top 4 here. Get this track and use to provide, I wouldn't say weird drivers, but drivers that usually you don't see up front very often. Kind of challenging here to make a charge here. Austin Mongold right now obviously make that Wanzing in the wall just a bit. These cars are trying to push for all they can get here. Speaking of defending Las Vegas winner, Tommy Withers currently in 8th position in that Wheaties machine, that orange paint scheme. I'm going to try to go back-to-back here in the Sin City. settled out here, but the battle rages on for second, third, and fourth. They are in their own little pack here. You can see in the far shot there, Feather Place, Michelle, and Breo trying to find their positioning here. Got to cycle through here. Feather Place, so stuck on the bottom at the moment. Outside, it's interesting because that outside line doesn't seem to be the restart lane, but Michelle just tags the wall there. If you can get it right, you can get the runoff you need and take advantage of it, but it also does eat the tires at a better rate. You see also battle for the lead with Donald Ray and Seth Wanzing, Sunday Money Racing teammates, fighting right now. It's quite interesting because Wanzing is the team boss. Wanzing is in the playoffs. Ray is not, but Ray looking to get a win here for momentum's sake. He had a strong first half of the season, but had to take some time off due to personal. He did come back from Sunday Money Racing and has been all right since. Looking to make the bleeding stop here. Will lead that lap in that number 50 machine. But Wanzing probably not too thrilled, at the very least at the moment. There a little bit further back, you can see the battle for third rages on. Feather Place charges back on the inside, gets it. And there's Tommy Reynolds, and there's Brandon Proudfoot. Two cars we haven't said much in stage 2. They're having a run here, and they're looking to try to have some fun here in this top 5. Real aggressive goes to the low side here. 3 wide, Michelle, Proudfoot, and Reynolds. Proudfoot will take advantage. Michelle will keep it on the high side. Now LaJoy going to try to get around Reynolds. Back up front, you can just see Wanzing looking to try to get back to the lead here. They're still side by side. Michelle touches Breo. No drive. Again, we're nowhere in the final stage, and there's still presumably at least one more pit stop for these cars to take, but neither driver giving an inch here at the moment. Letting it all hang out here like it's the final 5 laps. Feather Place making a move on Ray. See in the foreground there. Breo going to be passed here by 2 cars, it seems, by LaJoy and Reynolds. So Breo maybe feeling a bit of trouble here at the moment. Tried an alt strategy to try to get the lead here. He's fallen back to P8 at the moment. Back up the second here. You can see Ray under charge here from Feather Place. In this top 5, you got 3 Sunday Money Racing cars. Ray gets up a little bit proud for that's going to help Michelle and Feather Place. Feather Place will get more of a clear distance here. Michelle looking to try to make it 3 for 3 drivers in the playoffs in the top 3 spots. It looks like he is on the path of getting clear, and he will clear the 50. Oh, Reynolds low to the inside there.
Only lost a couple spots into that.
Yeah, got a little argy-bargy. Everyone trying to find their spots. Got sent out, but again, that's the best probably thing he could have had there. The worst would have been hitting the wall.
Yeah. I think you can tell that there's no fuel saving right now.
No, because everyone has to pit one more time, so no point in saving. Can't make it to finish. Drivers are probably saving a little bit of their tires. Others just going as hard as they dare. And I know one driver is hoping for a caution here before we get to the end of the pit stop window opening will be the 61. We're still 1 down at the moment, currently in P20. He is, I believe, in this pack, like this major gaggle of cars. Yeah. Either that, or he's going to try to go to the front and try to get himself ahead of everyone, so just in case worst comes to worst. But right now, he's a little bit of help here. Reynolds on the inside of LaJoy.
See, we're side by side when Reynolds almost spun a couple laps ago. Reynolds will clear this time and get to the top 5.
So it's Wanzing, Feather Place, Michelle, Ray, Reynolds. 4 out of the 5. Well, almost. LaJoy going to challenge back here, so I'd hold off on cashing that check just yet. David Wright, remember, was going the wrong way earlier. Now back into the top 10 here. trying to get in this top 5 battle as well, along with Josh Gaiman, who's 1 down.
Oh, tagging the
Feemster
wall.
tags wall hard.
Yeah.
Big lick from the 21.
He held station, though, still ahead of David Wright.
Yeah, he hit it flush, so it'll be okay.
You see that gap that opened up between Feemster and Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
Tires beginning to cliff. Drivers using up more of the racetrack here.
Mm-hmm.
Feemster was the warning shot, I think.
Yeah. I know looking back, Wanzi got a little loose, and that allowed Featherplace to get around. Now Michelle was able to get around too. Now Wanzi back up to second, though. So cars just fighting, cars joggling for position here. And we're being so close on the edge of tires and the end of a stage, you just wonder, one car is eventually going to have to make that mistake. The question is, who will it be? Because you can't go hard like this even on old tires, as we are about to be 30 laps in on tires here at the very least. About to be in a couple laps time.
Most of the field pit on lap 71, a couple pit on lap 76.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the 76 would be Brandon Proudfoot.
Proudfoot and Feemster.
And Dale Markowski.
Feemster took, Proudfoot took fuel only, Feemster took tires, and Markowski took fuel only.
Yeah.
So, really, Feemster's the only one with an advantage there if he decides to use it.
Yeah.
But as we saw there, tagging the wall and flattening that outside a little bit, that right side, not going to be helpful. Ooh. As I think that was somebody that was Michelle that almost spun it.
Yeah, he was loose. I was keeping an eye on him. He got a little loose in that corner, and he had a little puff of smoke there.
Looked like he clipped the apex. Like he clipped the white line.
I believe that was the case. I'll confirm that real fast. Yeah, you're right. He got a little too low, clipped the apex, and again, very like a 10-degree spin there, but that must have been frightening in that 25 with that car sideways, at least a little bit.
Yeah, these walls come up quick.
Mm-hmm.
As Wanzing goes for the race lead once again.
Yeah, Featherplace and Wanzing, they've had that duel in stage 1. Featherplace, been a long time since he won last. He's last won at Gateway. Wanzing won at Kansas in the playoffs. Either driver wins, they don't have to worry about the next 2 weeks. They can kind of kick their feet up and relax till Phoenix comes, and they'll be fighting for a championship. Yeah, you can see Ray and Reynolds fighting for position to 4, but big battle here for the lead. Whoever takes the lead before the pit stop window has a slight advantage. And now I think we've hit the window opening. Marshall just elected to come in. Withers is coming in this time by. So we've hit kind of the tire cliff. But you want to try to stretch at the 34 at the very least. If you pit here, it's going to be a little too early. And if you get the 34, 30 to go, you'll be good. So window will be opening up in a couple laps time. Just got to hang on till then.
Oh, car in trouble. Further in the back, it's Braya involved in Markowski.
No caution called.
And there's a huge amount of damage on the 74 machine of Breo, and there goes the caution.
And there's the caution. Yeah, caution got a little delayed there by a button delay, so Withers is actually gonna, I was gonna say get lucky here, but I think he got put 1 down in the incident, and actually it's gonna not, he'll get the wave round though. Gaiman gonna get the caution he needs, but we'll take a look at the replay here. You can just see, oh. Yeah, Markowski drifted up just a bit. Breo was there. And,
it looked like Breo turned down into Markowski.
Take a look here again. Maybe.
Because Markowski goes by on the inside lane. Markowski in the 48, Breo in the 74. Breo tries getting down to the bottom. Markowski's still there.
Yeah.
And just pushes Markowski down and then just tags him. And up they go.
It looks like, though, Markowski drifts up, though. Like, I don't see... maybe that's just the angle, but it looks like a touch doesn't happen there. But it's so sharp that it wouldn't make sense at that angle for that.
Going slow motion here, they make contact here.
Yeah.
Because you see Markowski get pushed below the white line and back up.
Yeah. So I was going to say, that's apron at that point, because it won't shoot that quickly to the right without help from something.
Yeah, Brea completely turned him there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go back here. We'll see if we can find a better angle of it. But the 100% Brea hooked him. Go on board with Brea here. Again, we'll kind of play this frame by frame. Yeah, Brea right there. Just great. Gets right to the quarter panel of Markowski and shoots him right at the hill. Nothing Markowski can do about
Back
that.
to live action. Mm-hmm.
But
Can't do anything about it.
that interferes a lot, and that will put all 21 cars back on the lead lap here.
Yep.
I see 3 cars getting away around here. It looks like it'll be Withers, Patrick Overstat, I should say, and Edward Marshall.
Yeah, you feel for Withers and Marshalls. They came in early on the sequence, and the caution came out just as the window was opening. So if it came out just maybe a little bit earlier, or Withers was already coming in, could have played out the 23's favor, but sadly, you'll have to take the way around.
Oh, Patrick Overstat, he's been in lap 87, so he's got another pit stop in his future right now as things look.
Yeah, Patrick Overstat will definitely come back in. So fuel and tires, non-factor. If you've pitted now, if we get another caution, you're probably not coming back in unless you're outside the top 10 and want to try to make some noise. Michelle had the fastest pit stop out of the crew here. He will obviously inherit the lead as we see on timing scoring. So we'll see how it all plays out here, but right now, you look at that top, you look at the playoff drivers in the top 1 through 4, even Donald Ray, and you look at it, and that's hard to choose, as they've been pretty strong throughout the night, battling for leads and positions. So there's no clear-cut favorite, I'd say, because usually when you get to a point in these races, you can say, all right, the winner's probably going to be X, Y, or Z. But here, you generally could sit in this top 10 and be like, yeah, I could see Stefan Overstat winning. I could see Kevin Feemster winning. I could see David Wright winning. I could see Tommy Reynolds winning. There's no clear-cut favorite here as we get close to the finish here, as choose is going to be in effect here. And it looks like Michelle going to buck the trend that Breo did. He's going to go high. Feather Place likes going low. He's done it for most of these restarts, and he will elect to do the same here. So they'll make your front row cycle through here. It's going to be Reynolds and Wansing, row 2. It's going to be Ray and LaJoy, row 3. Wright is going to make row 4. It looks like he'll be partnered up with, I think, Austin Mongold. And then it's going to be Proudfoot and someone else will make up your first 5 rows. I think it's going to be Feemster as it cycles through. Again, thank you for anyone joining here on your Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us here for the ARCS Las Vegas 200 for the A Square Cup Series. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kevin Young. Carmen Sienna joins me in the booth here. And we hope you enjoy this last 30 laps for the first round of the round of 8, deciding who will make the final 4 heading into Phoenix.
Daniel Michelle, better place. Tommy Reynolds. Seth Wansing, top 4.
Is out and away we go. Doesn't really get the launch there he needs. Feather Place is going to be side by side going into 1.
Had a good launch in the initial phase, just couldn't get it clear.
Mm-hmm.
3 wide,
we
further
see
on
it.
back. There's Erwish George side by side with Breo and Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see it a lot here as everyone fans out.
And you're gonna see 3 wide there. You're gonna see 3 wide there for the top 5 with Ray, Joy, Mongold, and Reynolds. Yeah, thank you. Drivers are no longer playing Mr. Nice Guy or Gal, looking to try to get what they can get And if you're a playoff driver, you're looking to get double that.
Better place
Mongo
leads over
right.
Wanzing and Michelle. But chaos further down.
Donald Ray, highest of the non-playoff drivers right now in a sea of playoff drivers. First through 6, he's the only one that isn't. But one of those drivers that looking to break through. You can say there's a handful of those drivers throughout this field looking to get that win. Right now at the moment he's looking to do that, but David Wright on his inside though, going to put a challenge to the top 5.
On board for Tommy Reynolds. Looking back at the Hornet's Nest.
Now you're going to see a 25 probably appear in your shot here in the second. He's currently side by side. There's that 25, just barely. You can see a fender. Michelle, though, should get the run here off the corner. Yeah, now he'll tuck back in line on the high side here and now change lanes. But you can see right there, Wright and Ray and Proudfoot. 3 different teams. Now Reynolds actually falling, got a little check up there. He's going to fall into the clutches of the Hornet's Nest, which is a place you do not want to be in. Wright will get clear, so Wright is now in the top 5, well, firmly in the top 5 now, with Reynolds now being the first car, the last car in the top 5, with Proudfoot, Themster, and Ray all knocking. Nothing's changed up front. It's still feather plate, Wanzing, Marshall, 1, 2, 3. All still single file. Speaking of the cars trying to get to the front, Gaiman's now gotten back in the top 10, taking the second chance here, and he's currently climbing.
See, notice that trying to deny him here.
Two playoff cars fighting here.
Three laps to go.
These laps are going to go by quick. Only 30-second lap time, so 2 laps in a minute. If you're a little bit further back, you don't got time to wait around. If you want to go to the front, you got to make it happen. Wanzing almost made a move for the race lead there. He'll tuck back in. Gaiman, though, looking to get around LaJoy. So you getting racing. That little checkup's going to allow Michelle a chance to send something if he elects to. And again, do not count out Wright and Reynolds. Wright, the tire whisperer. Reynolds, the winningest driver this season. Both 4th and 5th. We can easily reel this pack in here and make a charge. We're going to be on 21, coming to 20 to go next time by. To go. Stage 1 winner, feather place leads the way with Stage 2 winner Wanzing on his coattails. $19 to go. And I think Wanzing's playing maybe a bit of possum here. Don't want to burn up your stuff, trying to get around this 34 and end up taking your tires to the woodshed and fall in bleeding positions. You need to make these laps at the end of the race anyway, so might as well give yourself a little extra light for a late charge, especially this still early on. There you can see Wright, you can just see the background shot there, Wright taking on all challenges here. Holding off a Reynolds there who tried to go even higher up to the wall to try to get around. back there. You caught the eye. I was about to say something. You caught it. Ray and Feems, they were flopping positions there. And 2 playoff drivers behind in Gaiman and Oberstadt. Gaiman looking to try to get around Feemster here. Just in the foreground, you can see Reynolds got around right, side by side. Gaiman gonna keep his foot in it. He'll get clear of Feemster. Now Stefan Oberstadt following his B-Tron teammate. Gonna try to follow suit here and get around that 21 for Presidential Racing.
For all the drivers in the playoffs, marked in red on your screen. Very important to stay in the get in the top 10 and stay in the top 10 right now. Minimize the deficit going into Homestead next week.
I mind cutting up to the 7 and the 42. They were side by side, very aggressive. And Donna Ray going to try to make a move when they're fighting. They touch. Ray not going to give an inch here. Gaiman's joined the fray too. They were leaning at each other through 1 and 2. I noticed that. Now 3 and 4, they were still leaning at each other. No love lost between these two. And you have a battle for the lead as well. Wanzing looking to try to make a move to the lead.
Gaiman tries sticking his nose to make it 3 wide. Business is picked up here in Vegas.
Wanzing looking to try to take the lead into 1. And caution's out.
Wanzing had the lead.
Yes. 48 about cost. Markowski spun. Wanzing, kind of a reversal of fortune we saw in the end of stage 1 with Featherplace was just a nose ahead. Wanzing was just there ahead. He'll take the stage lead here. But we'll take a look at the incident. Looks like Withers was involved.
No, it wasn't was involved. Someone else had spun.
That was Austin Mongold.
Yeah, Austin Mongold.
So taking a look here.
Friendly night here for Austin Mongold. I think he just bounced off the wall here. No, I don't think he does. I think he gets loose out of 4. Don't think he tags the wall. He just gets loose and spins it.
Spins it, hits the wall there, hangs up, and then thing cuts down, and yeah, Malkowski nowhere to go. That's most likely going to be race done for the 48, as he's already had to burn his fast spare with the incident with Breo, so his race is probably done. Yeah, he is now pulled behind the wall. So race over for the 48. Mongold kind of avoids the worst of it in a weird way, but still have to come down and fix what the damage he had.
Not a great job for Mongold to get another race where he's just involved in an incident here. And it's been fortunately been the normal for Mongold tonight. This season across HTL ARCS competition.
Big. Oh, Wanzing faked out the field there. Sorry to cut you off, but Wanzing was coming in, it looked like, along with Featherplace, Michelle Reynolds, and he did a last-second pull-out. But him and Ray will stay out. Everyone else comes on in.
I don't think I agree with this call.
Maybe he thought more cars were going to bait. We've seen older tires work and hang on.
Older tires work, but we saw how important the fresh tires were on the restarts. So, and that's where he's gonna be the most vulnerable right now. Now he has the ability with his teammate to lock out that entire front row, but
and also at the same point though, to kind of counteract that, we saw Breo when he was on the older tires on the inside. He was able to get clear on the restart on the inside. So I don't hate the call, but 13 laps is a lot of laps here. One more thing to report down the pipeline to kind of add some playoff drama. Emma Kruger has disconnected, so she is currently out of this race at the moment with a connection issue, and she's currently bailed in 19th position. She has just rejoined, but she's going to go at least 1 down here at the very least. To the green, so I see the choose come into effect here soon. Wanzing gonna go high here. I don't know if I like that call though. We've seen that high line not really get the restart needed to kind of get going. We've seen that low side be kind of the lane that gets going. So we'll see if it plays out, but Something else kind of the report as well. One driver just called maybe the 34 had a choose cone violation here, but it looks like he'll be okay. No penalty for the 34, but
that would be disastrous for Feather Place.
yeah,
If that had been the case.
Yeah, I won't out the driver in question, but I will say it was a playoff driver that maybe wanted an advantage.
Oh, absolutely! You're gonna pull that. You're gonna pull that every chance you can.
Mm-hmm. So Feather Place will avoid the wrath of the stewards, even if it was close. But pace car going to come on in, going to be on Wansing's control. We're going to have 12 to go here. Top three, Sunday Money Racing. Green is out and away we go. That's the restart Wansing needed on older tires. Michelle and Ray side by side for second.
Kruger is one lap down. For those following a 70 car, needs a caution in the next 11 laps. Really in the next 9 laps, if you want to be precise. Don't want to see the white flag at all.
Yeah.
If Kruger's a lap down right now. Feather Place.
Going up the racing surface. Michelle going to try to charge for the lead here.
That was my concern.
Yeah.
If you're trying to win this race, staying out on that caution was not it. Because
especially
now,
when he had, maybe again he thought more people were going to come in. Now Reynolds going to be on the corner panel.
Well, the thing is, at that point, like, no one's lifting now. Like, the situation's a lot different now, and you will get moved. Wansing, of all people should know this. He's been on the receiving end of that at this point 3 times already this season.
Mm-hmm.
You leave yourself vulnerable to that situation, and you're going to get burned. The issue is, was he banking on more cautions potentially to minimize that gap? But
or maybe he was banking on more cars staying out.
I don't think he was banking on more cars staying out. I think he was banking on more cautions because whatever you do as the race leader, no one else will. Yeah. That's the rule of thumb. And with Wansing being the race leader, he probably should have been more aware that he was on his own on that one. Because even his own teammates didn't go with him.
Yeah, now he's fallen. Well, Donna Ray did, but the other teammate, Michelle, didn't.
The teammate that matters right now didn't.
Yeah. And right now he is falling down to 4th. Currently going to possibly fall outside the top 5 here at the moment. So, yeah, maybe a good call if there were 2 laps left, but 13's a bit high. Yeah, the bleeding will continue here as now he's under charge here from Breo. Puff of smoke there. Phoebes are sideways with Proudfoot. Caution's going to probably come out here. Marshall and the Withers. I mean, multiple cars involved. Alfred's George, Donna Ray, Alfred's George, Stefan Oberstedt trying to avoid the chaos. Gets on the brakes. Oh, he'd think he'll avoid it. Kruger, though, not as lucky.
That's unfortunate.
And Kruger will not get the lucky dog because of that. Confirm that right now. Just multiple cars involved in that. I got Kruger, Pinnell, Marshall, Feemster,
Sears, Oberstadt, Pinnell,
Proudfoot.
That's almost a dozen cars right there.
Alfred's George.
Let's go slow motion. Feemster already just bobbles and gets loose there. Gets right into Proudfoot.
Yeah.
I saw him teammates there.
Apron. Yeah, he clipped the apron before going into 3. It looks like he had to save, then it happened again. And then Marshall gets help there. And it sends him up high. And at that point, the track's starting to get blocked quickly here. And it's just a mad scramble. There's Stefan Oberstadt also involved. Does Skiers skip the gap there? It looks like he does. Like, yeah, he goes a little bit of Dukes of Hazzard through the grass, but... Hey.
It works.
Avoided the chaos there.
Kevin Fincher race is done and over with.
Yeah, he's pulled behind the wall. Take another look here again.
Oh, someone's sitting behind him. I don't know who that is behind him.
I think that's Edward Marshall. Is that Marshall or Breo? No, Breo's ahead of this.
Yeah, this is Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall sends it in on Feemster, and that's what gets Feemster loose to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries saving it. Then he clips for a little white line. That's what you saw.
Yeah.
And then obviously it shoots Feemster up the hill there.
And at that point, he's sideways. Proudfoot gets it saved, and then, yeah, Oberstadt, and then the rest start piling in here. Alfred's George. And then just the last pilot in Kruger just, she had it woe down, and then the last second Feemster's car after hitting that other car shot up into Kruger's line, and yeah. So back to live action, 2 to green here. No of the top cars elected to come in here on service. Only cars that came in were Stefan Oberstadt. So 12 on down elected to come in. Wanzing obviously going to stay with the strategy here and see if he can hang on to get something out of it. When we get going again, we are going to go choose next time at 4, so we will have 3 to go. We go back to green.
And Wanzing still did not come in because I think at this point his bed's pretty well been made.
If he pitted, he would have fallen down. Yeah, if he pitted, he would have fallen down to at the minimum 12th. But with Oberstadt, Ray, and George fuel-onlying it or fast repairing it along with fueling it, he would have presumably would have fallen a couple more spots. He would be probably lining up in 15th. So, and he would need a couple cautions and trying to avoid said cautions to get up. So at this point, it feels like it'd be better for the bleeding to stay where you are and hope you don't fall more than the reverse. So anyway, choose going to be in effect here. Michelle will have choice. And he will go low. Reynolds will go high. So that will be your front row. Then you got Gaiman. And Feather Place will be row 2. Wright, Braille, row 3. Wanzing, Proudfoot, row 4. That will be your first 4 rows here. And then as the rest kind of get bunched up here, it looks like it's going to be Ryan Pinnell and Mike LaJoy will be the 5th row. So that will be your top 5 rows here. For those keeping score at home, 19 cars still run at the moment. 2 cars behind the wall, 1 car a lap down. Emma Kruger, I should say. Alfred George is on the lead lap. Alfred George is running 14th. 18 cars on the lead lap still running. So place your vote of confidence here now. Who you think is going to win here? You got 5 playoff drivers rocking the first 3 rows here, and the defending champion in that 3rd row as well. A lot of tough challenges here. We'll see how it all plays out. Pace car coming on in. It's going to be on Michelle's control. Green is out, and away we go. Wright does not really get going. Gaiman gets a good push there. Gonna clear clear Reynolds in the 1. Gaiman still pushing the back out of that 25. Wants to get enough clear here. He can make a fight battle between the 2 of them.
And you got to see the white flag for this race to be official. If there's a caution with 2 to go, we get overtime.
Look like they'll keep it clean through 3 here. They got 2 to go, so got 2 laps to try to make it back to finish.
1.5 miles.
Top 3 is pulled away from Braille and Feather Place. Feather Place looks like he's making a move on Braille. Braille will play defensive. One of these 3 drivers looking good to clinch a chance here for the final 4. Gaiman cannot get side by side. Gaiman going to set up here for the tri-oval. White flag in the flagman's hand. 1 lap to go. This will end the race next time by. Gaiman, Michelle side by side. Think Gaiman's in the catbird seat here on the high side. Looks like he could get the run to clear. He will clear. Reynolds trying to get it. Almost hits the wall there side by side for second. Gaiman's happy to see this. Coming off the 3 and 4, Gaiman's not going to have a challenge here. Michelle and Reynolds still side by side at the moment. Reynolds and Gaiman touch, and Gaiman gonna come off the line. Gaiman's Reynolds sideways, Michelle spinning. Gaiman crosses the line in first place, Feather plays second, Breo third, Wright fourth. Big lick there for Michelle. And that's gonna have some playoff implications, but Gaiman is going to win this race. Feather plays second, Breo third. That will be your top three. And Reynolds and Michelle may have hurt themselves both obstructively there. Reynolds will finish, I think, 16th.
This game is going to burn it down here. Race winner here in Las Vegas and into the championship 4. What a wild last lap there. Reynolds 15th place. Michelle down to 8th.
Reynolds goes down to 16th. So Gaiman does not have to worry about the next 2 weeks. He's locked himself into the Final 4. We were talking about how he had a little bit of bad luck during Stage 2, where he got in that incident, got one down, he got back, he charged the round, and now he's fighting for a championship, and his team boss, Jeremy Breo, will come in and give him a congratulations tap. And the 61 will be fighting for a championship in Phoenix in 3 weeks' time.
Let's go over that last lap real quick before we do interviews here. Because it was elbows out the entire time.
Yeah, it was elbows out coming out of 2 there. Right when Reynolds was side by side, you could just see it coming up here. It kind of kicks the door off here. You see Gaiman gets clear, Michelle kind of drifts up, Reynolds is right there, almost hits the wall, then gets down there, and at that point, it's on for second. Gaiman's clear, and no one's going to have a charge here.
Yeah, Michelle drifts up the track big time.
Side by side, Reynolds then gets even a little bit loose, drops down. At that point, they're both sideways. And Michelle gets the forward momentum to keep rolling. Reynolds loses a lot of it by hitting that wall. And at that point, a lot of cars snuck on by. And again, with only Reynolds had a 10-point gap coming tonight, but he didn't get many stage points. Michelle only had. Actually, didn't have a cushion at all, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he didn't. He didn't win in the last round.
Yeah. Did not want to throw away points like that. And with drivers like David Wright getting 4th, Feather Place getting 2nd, Seth Wanzing finishing ahead of Reynolds getting 9th. It's just worth noting in that front that a lot of points kind of got bled there a bit by both drivers.
Yeah.
And that last lap incident, it may play an incident, it may not. We'll find out in 2 weeks. But you don't want to throw away those points if you don't need it. And 2nd and 3rd would have been good for both drivers. Instead, it's 8th and 16th. And Feather Place, who was looking to be a distant 4th, is now going to get 2nd place billings along with Stage 1 victory. So Feather Place at least smiling ear to ear along with Gaiman, while a few other drivers kicking at what could have been.
Oh, obviously, so with a lot of things up in the air now, as everyone reviews that last incident, we won't have points tonight, but that's won't stop Josh Gaiman from celebrating. He is now in the championship 4. He gets to fight for a championship in 3 weeks in Phoenix. We'll hear from him in just a moment. Phenomenal drive for him. Brandon Feather plays a good drive as well, avoiding all the carnage. And Jeremy Breo, the defending series champion, won't have a chance to really defend that crown, but we will see him on the podium here tonight. Josh, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
What a race. You're locked in and battling for a championship at Phoenix. A race win here at Las Vegas makes the next 2 weeks a breeze. Walk us through it, and obviously walk us through what you see up behind you there at the end of the race as everything kind of broke loose.
Yeah, definitely wasn't looking too good early on. I just, had Emma get really, really loose on that restart in front of me, and getting stuck a lap down was not going to go well. Really glad that caution came out when it did, and I was able to get my lap back. From that point on, I had saved an extra set of tires in stage 2. I ran the whole stage on 1 set of tires. So right there at the end, I was able to take 4 and just had the car to do it.
Obviously, a phenomenal battle for you, getting back not only on the lead lap, but getting into position to go and win this race. Probably one of the hardest fights you've had all season long. What does that say about how this team's looking going into the final rounds here? Again, you've won at Homestead. You don't have to worry about Homestead. You don't have to worry about Martinsville now. Going into Phoenix, that's become your biggest focus now. How important is it getting that win early so you can move your focus to Phoenix immediately and get ready for that championship battle?
Yeah, for sure. It's not my best track, but I've had, pretty 50-50 luck there. Hopefully it's on the good end this time, but it's gonna have to just be an aggressive race for me. I'm not gonna be able to really relax, kind of maybe take it easy at the beginning, but I know it's a pretty quick track. It's not the worst on tires, but with it being a fairly small track, you definitely take care of your stuff. But having a couple of weeks to really mull that over and see how things are shaking out with everyone else that's in the playoffs will be nice to do.
Well, 61 crew will be in the fight for a championship here in a couple weeks' time once we head to Phoenix. Before we let you go, though, let you celebrate your win here at Las Vegas. Josh, if they want to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congrats on a well-fought victory. Your ticket's punched to Phoenix for the championship fight.
Yeah. Shout out, everyone at Beatron. Definitely been working hard and showing up as much as we can and forming, when we can on the tracks that we're good at. Definitely big shout out to Tommy for that awesome side draft down the back straight. We were pretty much whoever was going to get out in the lead, the other one was gonna have to really work to keep that, and it definitely worked. It was just ridiculous with the car tonight with the side draft, but it's how it goes sometimes. Shout out Makoni Setup Shop, 213 Simware, W Energy. All three great partners riding along with me all for the last year and this year. Shout out to the ARCS guys for putting up with us, and shout out for you for putting the show on.
Josh Gaiman will walk into Homestead. Not a worry in the world. He's already punched his ticket into Phoenix in 3 weeks' time. Josh Gaiman will see him in the championship fight at the end of the season. Race winner here at Las Vegas for Beatron Racing. We'll move on here to Brandon Fetterplace, second place finisher here tonight. Line Power Motorsports did a phenomenal job here. Brandon Fetterplace, second place for that team once again. So close to punching his ticket in. Brandon, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Sure do. How you doing?
Obviously, a little bit more electrifying than we were expecting, but a second place finish, especially after missing out on a lot of stage points early on in this race. Walk us through it for you, getting that recovery, and obviously what you saw at the end there, everything unfolding in front of you.
Well, I knew this was going to be a tough race. I felt really good. I did a decent amount of practice this week. I felt really good coming into this race. I knew kind of what to expect, what the tire fall off was going to be. Our stages tonight kind of threw me for a loop. That's what I get for not paying attention to those. But, all in all, hey, I won stage 1. I think I was like 4th or 5th, stage 2, and now a second. I can't complain. It was a really, really hard fought race. These drivers are just really difficult. They're really fast, and things can change. You think, I led a bunch of laps. You start thinking, hey, maybe I have this, and a late caution, and everything changes.
Obviously, this race was probably the more wild of the 3 races coming up here. Well, of the 2 races here that are intermediates, obviously Martinsville's going to be a different animal. Homestead in between those 2, though, obviously next week we head to Miami. How are you feeling going into that race in particular? Obviously, just missing out and being able to punch your ticket into the championship 4. Do you feel you had a chance to go and run it back and get us one spot better?
I definitely do. I'm feeling pretty motivated, so we're going to do everything we can to get this Ghost Energy Camry into victory lane. Hopefully next week. Homestead isn't too bad. It's not too bad of a track for me. I think we're going to be struggling there pretty bad. So it'll be whoever doesn't junk their race car, I believe. So we'll see.
Well, a phenomenal result here nonetheless. A stage win, some decent stage points, and a second place finish tonight for that 34 crew. Before we let you go and let you get ready for next week's race, Brandon, if anyone you want to shout out, the floor is yours. Congrats on the podium.
Thank you very much. Thanks to Go Synergy for being on the car this week. Thanks to Lion Power, obviously. Tom Sears knew what he was doing when he picked all of us. And thanks to you all in the booth for the amazing broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it. And hopefully everyone that watched enjoyed it. So we'll see y'all next week.
Absolutely. Brandon Fettel plays second place finisher tonight. Some good stage points. Currently in the top 4 in points. And that's where he needs to be over the next 2 weeks. Brandon Fettel plays a podium finish tonight here for Lion Power.
Thank you.
That was Brandon Fettel plays second place here tonight. We have one more interview lined up, and that is the team owner for Beatron Racing, Jeremy Breo, defending series champion from 2022. Not in the playoffs any longer, but podiums coming thick and heavy for that Beatron Racing driver across HTL and ARCS. We'll hear his thoughts here after a good race at Las Vegas. Jeremy, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Get a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Another race, another podium for that 74 crew. You've come back with quite a vengeance here. Back-to-back weeks with podiums here at a race that was very frantic for you. Saw your car completely torn in half at one point. You get that car recovered and back onto the podium. Walk us through your race.
Well, I qualified like crap because I messed up the first lap. I hit the wall, and then I went out for my second lap. I already set. And I didn't get up to speed fast enough, so that's why I was like 2/10 off the field. And then it was basically a track position race at that point because you can't really pass with these cars. They're all running the same speed, so there's like you got to get positions on the restarts, and after that, like it's sit in line and hope that somebody messes up in front of you. And that was basically my whole plan, was to get track position from the beginning. After that point, and at the end of the stage, I think it was the first stage, I took. So there was a caution, and I took tires and I stayed out, and then I got track position for the second stage. And I tried to do the same thing at the end of the second one. That kind of screwed me, and then I didn't take tires at the end of that stage and came out with the lead, but was hoping for a quick caution because I saved a set of tires there and didn't get that quick caution that I wanted, and got set to the back because I was just so slow compared to everybody else on 4. And then after that, it was just a crapshoot to see who could get through on the restarts and pass people. And then we got enough cautions there at the end to where I could work my way up and pass people, and then basically got lucky with the third place there with those two wrecking in front of me. And I don't know what the 25 is thinking half the time he does some of the things he does, but the next time he door slams me or does anything dumb to me, I'm gonna probably wreck him because he just does some of the stupidest shit that I've seen in a long time, and he is not fun to race around. So good to know that he, can't use his head or can't drive for shit. So other than that, hey, third place, good lucky third place. We'll come back and see what we can do next week.
Obviously, next week, a big thing for you. Obviously, you're kind of coming in, just kind of play a spoiler and mix up the pot a little bit. Homestead Miami Speedway, how you feeling about that? Obviously, a completely different intermediate track there. Obviously, a little bit of experience racing in HTL at that track as well. Are you feeling any more confident in being able to sort of actually show your pace and make some moves happen there?
Hopefully, I can qualify better because I think that's going to be the same deal as this week, and going to be a track position game. So whoever can get into the top 5 is going to probably stay there the whole race. So hopefully qualify well, and then after that, I think I can stay in the top 5 and do some stuff, and just hope for some cautions at the end and maybe get a decent restart and hopefully win. But I'm looking more forward to Martinsville. I love that track. Even though you have to shift with these cars there, I love that track so much. So can't wait for that race.
Well, you have to keep an eye on that 74 car here over the next few weeks. 3 weeks left in the season. Back-to-back podiums there for the 74 crew. And it's a double podium here tonight with Josh Game and your teammate winning tonight. Before we let you go and let you get ready for the next week of racing, if there's anyone you want to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours, Jeremy. Again, a phenomenal podium result. 14 spots gained, one of the biggest gainers tonight, showing finesse once again in that 74 crew.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to you for putting on the broadcast every week. It's a task to put these on, and we appreciate it. So thank you, and thanks to Smith Racing Designs and John and April for giving me the best schemes out there, and thank you to just everybody who supports me. And it's just really cool to be able to do this every weekend and Monday nights. So it's a lot of fun, and yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Jeremy Breo, third place finisher here tonight in Las Vegas. That was our podium interviews here. We'll walk through the final rundown of the results. Again, we won't have points finalizing completed. Obviously, we're expecting some penalties here at some point here this evening.
I do have some unofficial points if you want to hear them right now before the penalties, because I did some calculations. Right now, we'll go over the results in a second, but just go over the penalties right now. Josh Gaiman, with his victory, he clinched himself in. He does not have to worry about the next 2 weeks. He is fighting for a championship in Phoenix. Further on, Brandon Featherplace will be second place in right now. He is plus 13 above the line. Seth Wanzing is plus 9 above the line. And then you got David Wright and Tommy Reynolds currently tied for the last driver in at the moment, both at 4.038. Obviously, the tiebreaker at the moment would go to Reynolds. Then Daniel Michel is minus 3 behind position 4. Then the 3 is Stefan Oberstadt is 9 back, and Emma Kruger is 19 back on the cut line. So right now, the first 4 in at the moment is 61, 34, 9, and 7. But with penalties still to come, and possibly other things, maybe some penalties, maybe not. But keeping updated on the ARCS social medias and the ABN social medias for updates on that.
And all things considered, we will have updated points at the start of next week's broadcast as we come to you from Homestead Miami Speedway. But looking at the race results here, Josh Gaiman punched his ticket in. That is confirmed. That is good to go. He will be at Phoenix battling for a championship in 3 weeks. Brandon Featherplace, not too bad. Again, you heard him. You heard Kevin Young there just a second ago. Second place in the points. Again, no one's completely safe just yet, but we will have a pretty decent idea of who's in the window and who needs to possibly get in gear over the next 2 weeks here. Yeah. Beginning with Homestead next week. Jeremy Breo playing spoiler, third place for him. David Wright in fourth place, a good race for him. Overall, all things considered, a top 5 result ahead of Brandon Proudfoot. Mike LaJoy, Patrick Oberstadt, a good recovery for Oberstadt as well. Spent a lot of this race off the lead lap. Got back on the lap late and ended up 7th place for his result. It was a good effort for him. Daniel Michel in 8th place. We saw that contact between him and Tommy Reynolds. That's going to be reviewed in this race, at least post-race by the stewards. Seth Wanzing 9th, Stephen Oberstadt in 10th. Ryan Pinnell 11th, and Tommy Withers, Irish George, Donald Ray, Tom Sears round out your top 15. Tommy Reynolds down in 16th place. Austin Mongold, Edward Marshall, top 18. And as we look a little bit further down in the starting grid order, Emma Kruger, 19th place. We are talking about Kruger being 19 points off the playoff cut line. That would be why. A lot of work to do for that number 70 machine.
No stage points, and then also, just had a disconnection late and then got involved in that incident trying to get her lap back.
Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant there for the 70 crew, but not over yet with 2 races to go in the round of 8. Kevin Feemster, Dale Markowski round out this field of 21 cars here tonight in Las Vegas. Tomorrow night, we head to Indianapolis, the HTL Brickyard 200. Coverage here on ABN Esports 1 begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Christina Ryan will be in the booth. I will be on track, hopefully, racing in that event tomorrow night. If not, if I fail to qualify, I'll be in the booth as well, so nothing's lost there. But all of our coverage begins 8 p.m. here on ABN Esports 1 for the HTL Brickyard 200, the next crown jewel race in the HTL Cup Series season. And then Thursday, it's the race at Okayama. ABN Hyper Formula competition continues as we go through some of the Japanese rounds. It was a wild race at Suzuka, a pretty classic season opener for that series. How does everyone respond going to Okayama on Thursday? But that'll do us here tonight for coverage of the ARCS A-Square Cup Series season. On behalf of everyone here for ARCS, all of its partners, Darkside Mustangs, Midwest Barbecue, Windy Chevrolet, and everyone here at ABN Studios, my co-commentator Kevin Young. I'm Carmen Sienna. Until next time, I'll tell everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the rest of your weekend and the week coming up ahead. But we'll see you next time here on ABN.